Coming up on Discover Oklahoma, big juicy burgers plus an adventure in the Arbuckles and a beautiful bed and breakfast.
Hi and welcome to Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lawley. Today we're coming to you from Kitchen 324 in downtown Oklahoma City.
What a fun, hip place to come have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The idea here is local, organic, straight from the farm whenever possible.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But first, I think that a big, juicy bite into it and it goes all over you kind of burger sounds good. Jason Grubbs takes us to a Tulsa spot where they've been building a better burger for decades.
Claude's Hamburgers has been feeding Tulsans since 1954. Decades later, they're still going strong, and there's a reason.
I remember when I was young, when we hit 30 years, I just had no idea that, we'd be thinking about 60 years.
Robert Hobson has been around Claude's Hamburgers his entire life. His dad, Claude, was the one who opened this iconic Tulsa treasure so many years ago. The menu is kept simple.
Well, we serve hamburgers, french fries, coleslaw. That's about it.
And you don't really need to serve anything else when the burgers taste this good.
How good are the hamburgers here? I told him, best hamburger I've ever eaten.
Landon Ray was heading home to Miami when our Discover Oklahoma crew caught up with him and his dad, Randy.
We made enough time to come over from Enid, gave us an hour so we could stop here and grab a hamburger before I jump on a plane back to Florida. I do love a homemade hamburger, but I have to say these are the best hamburgers I've ever eaten anywhere.
This little old counter is filled with memories for Jack Morris. He was just 4 or 5 when his grandparents started bringing him in.
It's great food, great service every time you're here.
How often do you come in here?
I come about, 3 times a month, 4 times a month, sometimes more, but at least once a week.
The patties are made fresh every morning. Robert says quality is key. It keeps the customers coming back.
And sometimes they've even come straight here from the airport before you even see their family. It's a pretty loyal following.
There's just a few seats in this small diner, but the wait is never really that long. The burgers are already cooking before you sit down. Claude's Hamburgers is one of those places that seems like it's been around forever. After all these years, it shows no signs of slowing down.
I'm going to be pushing for 15 more years to get the 75th anniversary. We'll take it a day at a time after that.
In Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
If you're looking for a great place to eat on your next road trip, you need a copy of the Discover Oklahoma Dining Guide. It's easy to get one. Just log on to our website, travelok.com, and click on Request Free Brochures.
Well, the summer starts to wind down and it gets to be time for fall. Oklahomans know to keep an eye out for those beautiful monarch butterflies that float through our state this time of year. Our Julie Chen takes us to a spot in Muskogee where they are hoping those butterflies make a pit stop.
It's special. We think we're the only butterfly house currently in the state of Oklahoma.
Welcome to the Georgia Pacific Butterfly House, home sweet home to hundreds of colorful critters.
We try to maintain 250 to 300 butterflies in the house at a time.
Right now we have Julias, we have white peacocks, there are a few painted ladies left, common buckeyes, monarchs, and zebra halicons, which are zebra longwings.
It takes a lot to care for the delicate creatures. They're shipped in from all across the country. When they arrive, they're placed in this chrysalis house.
We hot glue the pupa to a twine, set it inside of our house, and let the butterflies actually emerge from it. It's really cool.
And you can watch all that.
You can watch it all right here.
Plan to spend some time strolling through the butterfly house on a self-guided tour. If the signs here look familiar, that's because they were donated by the Tulsa Zoo. And while you're discouraged from picking up the butterflies, it's okay if the butterflies pick you.
The kids love it, especially when they can get up close to one. Sometimes they'll land on your arm or your shoe or your hat. So it's kind of exciting if they were to do that.
Now, we came to the butterfly garden on a cloudy and cool day, but we were still able to see plenty of butterflies.
But the best conditions to come are on a warm and sunny day. On those days, you'll see them flying around. And if you want to increase your chances of attracting them,
Wear bright colors, sunny disposition, and wear something that smells sweet.
be on the lookout for a few other surprises here too. The house is also home to a fairy garden and these resident turtles.
The turtles will eat the remains of the butterflies that don't make it. So it's like a cleaning life cycle.
There's a lot to take in this special house unlike any other in the state. When you visit, plan to stay a while and come back often.
Come throughout the season because the garden evolves as well. The farther in the summer, the prettier it gets. So, and the butterflies will change because the growers will have different butterflies available to send to us. So we hope that every couple of weeks we'll introduce new varieties and we'll post that locally so that the locals can come back and see the new selection.
In Muskogee, I'm Julie Chin for Discover Oklahoma.
You can find out more about the Butterfly Garden on our website, travelok.com. You'll also find a list of events associated with the Monarch's journey into Oklahoma this fall. Just use the search bar and type in the word Monarch. Well, from butterflies to fly fishing, there are so many great reasons to get outdoors in Oklahoma this time of year.
And if you love our lakes, we've got great news for you. Our great state is breaking ground on a state-of-the-art lodge. Where it is and when it should be ready, coming up.
People go to Oklahoma, wave to you, they say hello to you. It's just, I guess in Europe that's not the common thing.
But first, Oklahoma hospitality. We visit one of our state's most unique bed and breakfast inns when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Trip to a theme park for a family of 4, around $4,000. Trip to a southern beach, around $2,300. Camping with your family any place you want to go this weekend, not even 10% of the cost of those other trips. Floyd's RV in Norman is a business born 45 years ago out of our family's passion for camping. Let us show you how inexpensive family fun can be. Here's an example. Right now, get a new Passport 2250 RV for just $189 a month. Floyd's RV in Norman, making family fun affordable.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Recent wildfires destroyed more than 600 homes in our state, and most were uninsured.
I'm Oklahoma Insurance Commissioner John Doak, urging you not to eliminate your homeowner's policy just because your home is paid off. In the event of a tornado or wildfire, it covers the cost of rebuilding and repairing your home and contents.
I paid my home off, and I am very pleased that I kept my insurance. That was one thing my husband always instilled, is never let the insurance lapse, you know.
Most Oklahomans' single largest asset is their home. You can't afford being uninsured.
Every night, sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. So when we say, yeah, we're only saying you're doing fine. Oklahoma,
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Kitchen 324, right in the heart of downtown Oklahoma City. Right. The aroma.
I'm digging it.
It's about to kill me. And you get this great view outside of all the hustle and bustle downtown.
And just a few miles from here, though, as you know, it's a whole different world. There's a country feel. It's just a quick car ride away. In fact, Quinn Tran is going to take us to the Rusty Gables Bed and Breakfast.
You'll drive up through a large timbered gate. That was the first thing we built when we bought the property. The timbers on the gate are about 100 years old.
Tucked away in northeast Oklahoma City.
Well, welcome. We're here at Rusty Gables. There's 30 acres here.
It's 30 acres of ranch life on Northeast 50th, on the edge of the metro.
As it all started with horses. It was all about our horses. A place for them to live.
Don Paul is a co-owner of Rusty Gables. This is more than a ranch where animals roam and champion horses are trained.
This is Gypsy. She is 16 years old.
For more than a decade, Rusty Gables has been a luxury guest lodge and art gallery.
Well, welcome. Here we are in Rusty Gables Art Gallery and Guest Lodge. If you can get Bert Seaborn to hang in your gallery, you've got a gallery. And he was the first one, and he has been with us now for 10 years.
Dozens of artwork welcome visitors, award-winning pieces all created by Oklahoma artists. Every corner of the Pine Lodge is furnished in warm, inviting colors.
We've covered both the rustic side or the ranch side, and then you want to have that little bit of elegant side thrown there to mix it. People go in their rooms, which you'll see here in a few minutes. They're very nice rooms. They're approximately 750 square feet. Very luxurious, very, very nice beds, iron sheets, large whirlpool tubs, large bathroom. They're very, very luxurious rooms. Enjoy wine and crackers in the evening on that porch out there. It's just phenomenal. The birds are chirping, and it's just a real pleasure to be out there. You can hear the waterfall, the fish are there. You can go out and feed the horses if you like.
She likes her grass.
It's so country, but you're just minutes from downtown. You're 5 minutes to Bricktown. The Oklahoma City Zoo, National Cowboy Western Heritage Museum, just right around the corner. The Adventure District is just right there at I-35, so there's a lot to do. And then they come here at night, sit on the porch, and like they think they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Rusty Gables has generated a lot of interest outside of Oklahoma and even beyond the U.S. Guests here have come from just about every continent to enjoy the beautiful grounds, the ranch life, and the Oklahoma hospitality.
People go to Oklahoma, wave to you, they say hello to you. It's just, I guess in Europe that's not the common thing. And we have a lot of people that come here that really enjoy what they see. And the overseas ones especially, they want to see a Western experience, and they come to Oklahoma, and Rusty Gables can show it to them.
Rusty Gables shows visitors the simple life, nature's beauty, and a bed and breakfast with Old West charm.
It's very special.
In Northeast Oklahoma City, Quintran, Discover Oklahoma.
Find out how to make reservations at Rusty Gables on our website, travelok.com, and you'll find a list of over 100 other great bed and breakfast locations.
That is such a great place to stay and totally convenient right there, not too far from the interstate. You know, but the bed and breakfast is always a great way to get that sort of pampered kind of stay.
That's true, but if you're ready to get outdoors and experience Oklahoma's lakes and parks, you're in luck. Your sneak peek at our state's newest lodge is coming up.
Plus, we're to take a wild ride high above Oklahoma's beautiful landscape. When Discover Oklahoma continues.
It's here, Ford's Great American Tailgate Event, featuring America's best-selling brand. Leading the way, Ford Fusion, C-Max, Focus, and Escape. Winning starts here, so hurry into Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. Score big savings with 0% financing for 72 months on select Ford vehicles at your local Ford dealer today.
I remember being very fearful of the unknown of what might happen next.
I remember it being like a bad dream.
I remember the plane flying over my head.
I remember kind of hiding my eyes and not looking at the television.
I remember the faces of my colleagues as the building swayed so violently after the plane crash.
I remember flyers of all the missing people.
That is an image that's seared in my mind.
I remember seeing people helping one another.
I think it's pulled the community together.
I remember people talking to each other.
An unbelievable sense of community.
I remember all of us coming together.
It wasn't just a New York thing.
We all were affected in some way.
You just wanted to do something.
I will remember by planting a tree.
I will continue to serve as a volunteer firefighter.
I will remember by taking my daughter to the Bronx Zoo.
I will call my grandmother.
I will clean up my room.
I will.
I will. I will.
I will make a difference.
How will you remember 9/11? Share your message at 911day.org today.
It's 3 p.m. For 50 million kids across America, school's out. And for a third of these kids, they're out on their own. Out with nowhere to go and nothing to do. But every afternoon is a chance to change America's future. All you have to do is open the door. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
And the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
And the wave
waving week.
It sure smells sweet
when the wind comes
right behind the rain.
We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand.
So when we say,
we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
Trip to a theme park for a family of 4, around $4,000. Trip to a southern beach, around $2,300. Camping with your family any place you want to go this weekend, not even 10% of the cost of those other trips. Floyd's RV in Norman is a business born 45 years ago out of our family's passion for camping. Let us show you how inexpensive family fun can be. Here's an example. Right now, get a new Passport 2250 RV for just $189 a month. Floyd's RV in Norman, making family fun affordable.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. So many great lakes and parks around our state, and for decades Oklahomans have enjoyed visiting those.
Absolutely, and now there's an incredible improvement coming to one of our most popular destinations, Lake Murray near Ardmore.
Well, Lake Murray has an economic impact in southern Oklahoma of about $3.5 million and brings in about 1.5 million tourists to this area of the state.
Located in the beautiful hills of southern Oklahoma, Lake Murray State Park is a splendid location for a vacation, retreat, or weekend getaway. As Oklahoma's first and largest state park, there's a lot of excitement about changes on the horizon.
So a new lodge is going to attract new visitors, going to attract more visitors, and it's going to have an economic impact within the park itself, but there's going to be a residual impact out in the community where people will not only spend money at the park, but will go and buy gasoline or buy groceries or buy things out in the communities.
Plans unveiled for the new lodge will only enhance this very popular park, but getting here was preceded by a lot of hard work and planning.
Well, it's been processed for over 2 years now. I think it actually started probably in January of 2012, February, introducing legislation that tourism wanted to found a way to get funds to build this lodge, and getting it through the legislative process and finally signed into law by the governor.
State Representative Pat Ownby says the design of the new lodge is going to be impressive and is sure to increase the number of visitors each year.
They're going to be able to enjoy lakefront views from every room in the new lodge, and that is tremendous. You won't believe it. You won't believe that here in southern Oklahoma, I had someone today say, I could not believe how clear the water is at Lake Murray. She had lived up near another lake in northeastern part of the state, loves the lake, but she said, I come down here and see this beautiful water. To be able to see that, the new nature center here at Lake Murray, all the recreation that we have here in southern Oklahoma, I guarantee you come down here one time, you will be back.
And with so many great things to do in Oklahoma, the tourism dollars are great for our state.
But as we spend time in Oklahoma with our families, we also generate revenue back into our local economy. And so I encourage all Oklahomans to look in their own backyard and see Oklahoma and discover Oklahoma.
Find out more about all of our state parks, lakes, and other great outdoor adventures when you order your free copy of the Oklahoma Outdoor Guide. It's easy to do. Just go to our website, travelok.com, and click on Request Free Brochures.
And you want to talk about a great outdoor adventure? It doesn't get much better than this.
We're going zip-lining through the Arbuckles, how you and your friends or family can too. Coming up next on Discover Oklahoma.
It's here, Ford's Great American Tailgate Event, featuring America's best-selling brand, introducing Ford Edge, Explorer, Escape, and the 2015 Ford Expedition, all powered by EcoBoost technology. Hurry in to Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. Score big savings with 0% financing for 72 months on select Ford vehicles at your local Ford dealer today.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
The wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat.
It sure smells sweet
when the wind comes
right behind the rain.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma every night. My honey lemon night. Sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky.
We know we belong to the land,
And the land we belong to is grand.
And when we say, yo,
we're only saying
You're doing fine. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma! O-K-L-A.
H-O-M.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
I'm getting close to China.
Time is running out for anyone wanting to catch a world-class exhibit at the Philbrook Museum. Julie Chen takes us to Tulsa to show us Monet and the Seine.
I've just spent an enjoyable 2 hours. I find it hard to tear myself away from one picture to go to the next one.
John Vaughn once traveled to Paris to see a Monet painting, but today he's simply headed to Philbrook instead.
I find that the exhibition is very well planned. It's easy to walk into it and have some sense of guidance on where you're going and where Monet was coming from.
Vaughn is among many checking out the Philbrook Museum of Art's new Monet and the Seine Impressions of a River exhibition.
It's the first Monet exhibition that Philbrook has ever done, and we also haven't had that many Impressionist exhibitions, so it's kind of groundbreaking.
Monet is probably one of the most significant artists in the history of Western painting, and for us to be able to bring 16 of his works here to Tulsa is something that we're really excited about.
From conceptualizing to collecting to installation, this exhibition is a labor of love 3 years in the making.
I like to think of it as a really nice cross-section of Monet's career. We're focusing just on this one specific subject, his interest in the Seine River. And in fact, it was something that fascinated him throughout his life. He always chose to live near the river, either in Paris or in these small towns and villages alongside, and that meant that essentially at any moment in his life he could always go outside and paint the scenes that he saw in front of him.
About 2/3 of the gallery is dedicated to Monet's paintings. The rest is an interpretive space that both educates and inspires.
The map of the Seine showcases where along the Seine River Claude Monet painted these works over roughly a 20 to 30 year period. So you get a sense of his pattern of life and also the spots along the river.
Monet and the Seine runs through September 21st. It'll cost you an extra $6. Visitors we spoke to say it's money well spent.
I think it gives Oklahoma a new flair, something to come out for and something new for people that have been living here for a while. And I would just describe it as a have-to here in Tulsa.
This is a feather in the cap for Philbrook, there's no question about it. I would hope that as many people as possible can get here in wheelchairs and canes in any way they need to, because it's well worth the visit.
In Tulsa, I'm Julie Chin, Discovering Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. So many people in our state, the idea of a day of relaxation doesn't cut it. They want blood-pumping excitement.
And those thrill seekers really don't let up until they get their dose of adrenaline. Tina McGarry actually took her family on the adventure of ziplining through the Arbuckles.
Mother Sunday at Air Donkey Zipline. You ready to do it?
I'm ready. We have 6 zip lines and a sky bridge. Takes about 2 hours to go through it, and there's over a mile of cable in the air, and it's the best entertainment on cable.
An adventure that takes you soaring over treetops, rock, water, and beautiful Oklahoma land. I loved the thrill of zipping and sharing the experience with my son Cameron.
Well, you take off, okay? You take off and you're going, wow, this is really dropping. And then all of a sudden your trolley's heating up a little bit. And then you're thinking, don't be scared. I've done this before, all right? I remember how to do this. And of course it's hard for me to say because I've done it 3,000 times, but it doesn't get your stomach necessarily, but you are moving pretty fast. By the time you come to the bottom of that lower part of the cable, you're wondering where your brake is. So.
It's touted as the best entertainment on cable, with a beautiful bird's eye view of the Arbuckle Mountains and the longest single zip line in the state.
Well, our longest one's right around 1,800 feet. And if the wind's behind you, you may go 40 miles an hour, you may go faster than that. Depends on how much you weigh. So you probably went about 20.
Air Donkey Zipline is open year-round as long as Mother Nature cooperates.
But even in January, if the weather's good, we've had some tours. It snowed here about 6 inches this year, and I said, I've got to go zip in that. So we also do night zips on occasion, so that's a whole different kind of feeling when you're doing that.
Anyone aged 10 and up can enjoy the experience. Air Donkey has even catered to thrill seekers well into their 80s, as long as you're in pretty good shape with no serious health problems and, of course, able to handle heights.
You're going to be hooked up in 3 places most of the time, 2 places all the time. If you are afraid of heights, there's not much I can say to change that. If you want to overcome it, you can be assured that you're going to be safe.
In the air over Davis, I'm Tina McGarry, discovering Oklahoma. Woo-hoo! This is awesome!
Fall is a great time to check out several zipline locations across our state. To find one near you, just log on to our website, travelok.com.
A big thanks to the folks here at Kitchen 324 in downtown Oklahoma City for hosting us, and a reminder that starting on September 15th, they will be open 7 days a week from 7 to 9. So you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner any day.
I can do that.
Yes.
All the time. All right, coming up next week on Discover Oklahoma, some of the best Italian food in the state. We're headed down to Little Italy for a sample of what they're serving up at Rosanna's. Don't miss it. Next Saturday night, right here on Discover Oklahoma. So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma. Production vehicle provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.
This event has been happening since 1971, and it's to highlight and to raise funds for the Firehouse Art Center. And this is just a great way to showcase regional art and to also help make money for the Firehouse.
I like drawing. It's fun and I like it.
I just don't think that children have as much opportunity in the schools for art. And so the Firehouse offers an opportunity for that. It also offers a great opportunity for adults.
The Firehouse Art Center is really the reason that I'm in Oklahoma. The executive director over here was a professor of mine in college, and we were good friends, and I didn't have a great deal of opportunities in Massachusetts at the time. And he said, come on out, and there's plenty of opportunity out here for you to do your thing and to express yourself and to really give back to the community. And that's what this event is about for the Firehouse, really. It's about giving back to the community and making sure that everyone understands what we do and that everyone can participate with all the free activities and give our instructors some time to show off a little bit. Try to recruit for some classes and things like that.
You could tell the civility of a society by its creativity in its art. And so I really think that's true. And I think this showcases that we're a pretty creative place here in Norman.